Good afternoon everyone and welcome to the final day of Literacy Week. I hope you've had a wonderful time exploring the fantastic world of literature, from stories and books and film versions of your favourite stories. I hope you had a wonderful time dressing up in your favourite character costumes. Can anyone guess who I am? One of my favourite stories. Films anyway. So I hope you've had a great time. Now it's time to sit back and relax and let the teachers do all the work. So sit back, enjoy this afternoon's ACG story time.
Hi there everybody! I would like to read you a story that's been quite popular with my class and with some other classes that I read to last year. It's called The Wonky Donkey. Have you heard of it before? It's by Craig Smith and illustrated by Cat Scout. The Wonky Donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! And he only had 3 legs. He was a wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. He was a winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. He was a honky-tonky winky wonky donkey. Yee-haw! I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music and he was quite tall and slim. He was a lanky honky-tonky winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. And he smelled really, really bad. He was a stinky dinky lanky honky tonky winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. And he smelled really, really bad. And that morning he got up early and hadn't had any coffee. He was a cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky donkey. He looks rather grumpy, doesn't he? I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelled really, really bad. That morning he got up early and he hadn't had any coffee. And he was always getting up to mischief. He was a hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelled really, really bad. That morning he got up early and hadn't had any coffee. He was always getting up to mischief. but he was quite good looking. He was a spunky, hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Yee-haw! And that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed the story.
In a dark, dark wood, from a traditional tale read by Richard Todd. In a dark, dark, super dark, darkly dark wood full of darkness, there was a dark, dark, super dark, darkly dark, and getting darker all the time, clearing. And in the darkly darkening clearing, there was an oddly familiar, seemingly quite common, dark, foreboding garden shed. And in the oddly familiar, yet dark and foreboding, dark garden shed, there was a spookily, gookily, mookily, dark and mysterious corner that incidentally was quite dark. And in the darkly foreboding corner of the oddly familiar shed, in the darkenly dark clearing of the dark, dark wood, there was a hole. And in this darkest of holes, in the darkest of corners, in the most dark shed, in the terribly dark clearing, in the shiveringly dark wood, there was a very cute mouse.
The Gruffalos Child by Julia Donaldson, with illustrations by Axel Scheffler.
The Gruffalo said that no Gruffalo should ever set foot in the deep dark wood.
Why not? Why not?
Haha, because if you do, there's a big bad mouse that will be after you. I met him once, said the Gruffalo. I met him a very long time ago.
What does he look like? Tell us, Dad. Is he terribly big and terribly bad?
I can't quite remember, the Gruffalo said. Then he thought for a minute and he scratched his head. The big bad mouse is terribly strong and his scaly tail is terribly long. His eyes are like pools of terrible fire and his terrible whiskers are tougher than wire. One snowy night when the Gruffalo snored, the Gruffalo's child was feeling quite bored. The Gruffalo's child was feeling quite brave, so she tiptoed out of the Gruffalo cave. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild, and into the wood went the Gruffalo's child.
Aha! Oh, a trail in the snow. Whose is this trail and where does it go?
A tail poked out of the log pile house.
Could this be the tail of the big bad mouse?
Out slid the creature, his eyes were small, and he didn't have whiskers, no, none at all.
You're not the mouse.
Not I, said the snake, he's down by the lake eating Gruffalo cake. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild.
I'm not scared,
said the Gruffalo's child.
Aha! Aho! Marks in the snow. Whose are these claw marks? Where did they go?
To eyes gleamed out of the treetop house.
Could these be the eyes of the big bad mouse?
Down flew the creature, his tail was short, and he didn't have whiskers of any sort.
You're not the mouse.
True, not I, but he's somewhere nearby eating gruffalo pie. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild,
I'm not scared.
said the gruffalo's child.
Aha, aho, a track in the snow. Whose is this track and where does it go? Whiskers at last and an underground house. Could this be the home of the big bad mouse?
Out slunk the creature, his eyes went fiery, his tail wasn't scaly, his whiskers went wiry.
You're not the mouse.
Oh no, not me, he's under a tree drinking gruffalo tea,
It's all a trick.
said the gruffalo's child as she sat on the stump where the snow lay piled.
I don't believe in the big bad mouse, but here comes a little one out of his house. Not big, not bad, but a mouse at least. You'll taste good as a midnight feast.
Wait, said the mouse, before you eat, there's a friend of mine that you ought to meet. If you let me hop onto this hazel twig, I'll beckon my friend, so bad and big. The gruffalo's child unclenched her fist.
The big bad mouse, so he does exist.
The mouse hopped onto the hazel tree. He beckoned then said,
Just wait and see.
out came the moon, it was bright and round. A terrible shadow fell onto the ground.
Who is this creature, so big, bad and strong? His tail and his whiskers are terribly long. His ears are enormous and over his shoulder he carries a nut as big as a boulder. The big bad mouse!
Yelled the gruffalo's child. The mouse jumped down from the twig and smiled. Aha! Aho! Prints in the snow! Whose are these footprints and where did they go? The footprints led to the gruffalo cave, where the gruffalo's child was feeling less brave. The gruffalo's child was feeling less bored, and the gruffalo snored and snored and snored. The moral of this tale is plain for you to see. Always listen to your parents and respect your family. And if you ever see that little mouse along the way, be nice, cause if you listen close you'll often hear him say,
Halo, saya Miss Dini ingin bercerita tentang cerita lebah dan si gajah. Si lebah dan si gajah, kira-kira apa yang mereka lakukan bersama ya? Mau tahu ceritanya? Yuk, kita dengarkan sama-sama. Si lebah dan si gajah. Ditulis oleh Long Revi, Illustrator Troy Samples, penerjemah Eka Budiarti dan Maria Lupis. Sudah siap mendengarkan? Yuk, kita mulai. Aku tersesat. Aku tidak bisa pulang, kata lebah kecil. Gajah, maukah kau menolongku? Apakah sarang bundar ini rumahmu, lebah kecil? Tanya gajah. Oh bukan, seru lebah kecil. Ini rumah burung. Apakah gua ini rumahmu? Tanya gajah. Oh bukan, ini rumah kelelawar. Apakah sarang lonjong ini rumahmu, lebah kecil? Oh ya, seru lebah kecil dengan gembira. Ini rumahku. Terima kasih sudah membantuku, gajah. Gajah dan lebah kecil pun gembira. Mereka saling menolong satu sama lain. Wah, kalian juga bisa tolong-menolong dengan sesama teman. Terima kasih sudah mendengarkan. Sampai jumpa di cerita berikutnya.
Hi guys! Thank you so much for joining me today. I would like to share the book, Whoever You Are, written by Mem Fox and illustrated by Leslie Stowe. Little one, whoever you are, wherever you are, there are little ones just like you all over the world. Their skin may be different from yours, and their homes may be different from yours. Their schools may be different from yours, and their lands may be different from yours. Their lives may be different from yours, and their words may be very different from yours. But inside, their hearts are just like yours. Whoever they are, wherever they are, all over the world. Their smiles are like yours, and they laugh just like you. Their hurts are like yours, and they cry like you too. Whoever they are, wherever they are, all over the world. Little one, when you are older and when you are grown, you may be different, and they may be different. Wherever you are, wherever they are, in this big, wide world. But remember this, joys are the same, and love is the same. Pain is the same, and blood is the same. Smiles are the same, and hearts are just the same. Wherever they are, wherever you are, wherever we are, all over the world. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Hi everyone, the book that I'm going to read to you today is called The Snail and the Whale, and it's a book written by Julia Donaldson and it's illustrated by Alex Schiffler. I really hope you enjoy it. Let's begin. This is a tale of a tiny snail and a great big grey-blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships and the dock. As he gazed, she smiles and sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. These are the other snails on the flock, who all struck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wriggle, sit still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, "I've got it, I've got it, I'll hitch a lift." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, "Lived wanted around the world." This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright, a humpback whale, immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come sail with me." This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands, with feisty mountains and golden sands. That's beautiful. Look, there's a monkey looking at the volcano. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, where stripy fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam round the whale and the snail on his tail. This is the sky so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with raging lightning flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. And she gazed at the sky, the sea, the land, the waves and the caves, and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all. And she said to the whale, "I feel so small." But then came the day the whale lost his way. There are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. This is the tide slipping away. Oh no, look, the water's going back. And this is the whale lying beached in the bay. "Quick, off the sand, back to the sea," cried the snail. "I can't move on land, I'm too big," moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, "I've got it," she cried, and started to crawl. "I must not fail," said the tiny snail. This is the bell in the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, "Sit straight, don't talk." This is the board as black as soot. And this is the snail with the itchy foot. "A snail! A snail!" The teacher turns pale. "Look," said the children, "it's leaving a trail." This is the trail of the tiny snail, the silvery trail saying, "Save the whale." Wow. These are the children running from school, fetching the firemen and digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. There they are, spraying water to make sure that he stays cool. This is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting, "Hooray!" as the whale and the snail travel safely away. Back to the dock and the flock on the rock. Those are all his friends at home, yeah? Who said, "How time's flown, and haven't you grown?" And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves, and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the small, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail. And they sang to the sea, and as they all set sail on the tail of the grey-blue humpback whale. Oh, that's beautiful. What a happy ending. I hope you enjoyed the story, and maybe you could read it yourself. Thank you.
Hello everyone! Today I'm going to read you the book with no pictures. It's by B.J. Novak. The book with no pictures. This is a book with no pictures. It might seem like no fun to have someone read you a book with no pictures. I think so. It won't be fun. It probably seems boring and serious. Except, what is it? Here is how books work. Everything the words say, the person reading the book has to say. Everything? Everything the words say? So I have to say it? No matter what. Okay. That's the deal. That's the rule. Should I go? Okay. So that means even if the words say blork, wait, what? That doesn't even mean anything. What word is that? Blurf. Wait a second, what? This isn't the kind of book I wanted to read. And I have to say every word that the book says? Uh-oh. I am a monkey who taught myself to read. No? Hey, I'm not a monkey. And now I am reading you this book with my monkey mouth in my monkey voice. It's not true. I am not a monkey. Yes, I am a monkey. No, I'm not. Also, I am a robot monkey. What? Robot monkey? And my head is made of blueberry pizza. Blueberry pizza? Wait a second. Is this whole book a trick? Can I stop reading, please? No? I should keep going. And now it's time for me to sing you my favorite song. Do I really have to sing a glug, glug, glug? My face is a bug. I eat ants for breakfast right off the rug. What? This book is ridiculous. Can I stop reading yet? No. There are more pages. I have to read the rest. Oh no. My only friend in the whole wide world is a hippo named Boo Boo Butt. Boo Boo Butt? I don't have a hippo friend named that. And also, the kid I'm reading this book to is the best kid ever in the history of the entire world. Oh, is that so? And this kid is the smartest kid too, because this kid chose this book even though it had no pictures. I guess you're right. Because kids know this is the book that makes grown-ups have to say silly things and make silly sounds like, oh no, here it comes. Glurga wooka mogruma do I brew brew blagity globity globity beep boop eep donkey face. That's so silly. Oh my goodness. Please, please don't ever make me read this book again. It is so silly. Please, 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 please. In fact, it is completely and utterly preposterous. Next time, please, 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 please choose a book with pictures. Okay, please. Because this is just too ridiculous to read. The end. Finally. Bonk. Oh, I didn't want to say that. Hope you enjoyed the story. The book with no pictures.
Hi, ACG. I'm really excited for our story time today. I'm going to share the story, The Little Gift of Nothing, by Patrick McDonald. It was a special day, and Mooch wanted to give his friend Earl a gift. But what to get him? He had a bowl. He had a chewy toy. He had a bed. He had it all. Mooch thought and thought. What do you get someone who has everything? Nothing. He would give Earl the gift of nothing. But in this world filled with so many somethings, where could he find nothing? Mooch often heard Frank say there was nothing on TV. But as far as Mooch could tell, there was always something on TV. Blah, 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 blah. Mooch often heard Doozy and her friends say there was nothing to do. But as far as Mooch could tell, everybody was always doing something. Millie came home from the store and said there was nothing to buy, so Mooch went shopping. Ooh, look at that. Is there nothing to buy? Mooch looked up and down every aisle. He found many, many, many somethings. The latest this, the newest that. But as far as he could tell, nothing was not for sale. So Mooch went home. And sat on his pillow and just stayed still. And not looking for it, he found nothing. So he went and got a box and put nothing in it. Then Mooch thought, maybe Earl deserves more than this. So he got a bigger box. Now that's plenty of nothing. And he carries the box over to Earl's house. For me? Said Earl. Mooch, you didn't have to get me anything. Who told him? Thought Mooch. Earl opened Mooch's gift. There's nothing here, said Earl. Yes, said Mooch. Nothing. But me and you. So Mooch and Earl just stayed still, enjoyed nothing. And everything. All right. I hope you enjoyed the story, boys and girls, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Good afternoon. I'm Mr. Campbell, and this is Monica, my wife.
Hello.
I was lucky to meet and get to know Monica through my travels in Latin America. And one of the reasons I went there was because I love this poet from Chile, Pablo Neruda. So today, we're going to read a poem by Neruda. We're going to read it in English, and then in
Spanish.
In the original Spanish, right? So the poem is an ode, and that's a particular kind of poem. An ode is a poem of praise to like an individual or an event, or in this case, and what makes Pablo Neruda's odes really special is that his odes are not to grand, big, important things, they're to little things, which makes them kind of unique. So, Ode to My Socks. Mata Mori brought me a pair of socks, which she knitted herself with her shepherd's hands. 2 socks as soft as silly rabbits. I slipped my feet into them, as though into 2 cases knitted with threads of twilight and goatskin. Violet socks. My feet were 2 fish made of wool. 2 long sharks, sea blue, shot through by 1 golden thread. 2 immense blackbirds, 2 cannons. My feet were honored in this way by these heavenly socks. They were so handsome for the first time, my feet seemed to me unacceptable. Like 2 decrepit firemen. Firemen unworthy of that woven fire, of those glowing socks. Nevertheless, I resisted the sharp temptation to save them somewhere as schoolboys keep fireflies, as learned men collect sacred texts. I resisted the mad impulse to put them into a golden cage, and each day give them birdseed and pieces of pink melon. Like explorers in the jungle who hand over the very rare green deer to the spit to eat it with remorse. I stretched out my feet and pulled on the magnificent socks, and then my shoes. The moral of my ode is this: beauty is twice beauty, and what is good is doubly good, when it is a matter of 2 socks made of wool.
Must say I'm not really good in this, but...
Oh, you're going to do great. You're going to kill it.
Me trajo Maramori un par de calcetines que tejió con sus manos de pastora. Calcetines suaves como liebres. En ellos metí los pies, como 2 estuches tejidos de hebras de crepúsculo y pellejos de oveja. Violentos calcetines. Mis pies fueron 2 pescados de lana, 2 largos tiburones de azul ultramarino atravesados por una trenza de oro, 2 gigantescos mirlos, 2 cañones. Mis pies fueron honrados de este modo por 2 calcetines celestiales. Eran tan hermosos que por primera vez mis pies parecieron inaceptables, como 2 decrépitos bomberos indignos de aquel fuego botado, de aquellos luminosos calcetines. Sin embargo, me resistí a la tentación de guardarlos como colegiales preservan las luciérnagas, como los eruditos coleccionan documentos sagrados. Resistí el impulso furioso de ponerlas en una jaula de oro, darles a cada día el piste pulpa de melón rosado. Como descubridores que en la selva
Keep going, you got it.
Entregan el rarísimo venado verde al asador y se lo comen con remordimiento. Estiré los pies y me fundé los bellos calcetines y luego los zapatos. Esta es la moral de mi oda. 2 veces es belleza la belleza y lo que es bueno es doblemente bueno cuando se trata de 2 calcetines de lana para el invierno.
There's nothing like a warm pair of socks in winter. So we both wish you all a happy literacy week and see you later.
Bye.